Okay folks, in this video we're going to take a look at the flow of how your course will sort of work. So here you are, the student, and we'll just say, actually let's just back up for a second. Let's write you out here, student computer. So whether this is a school provided computer or your personal computer doesn't really matter too much. In this particular case we're just going to see use that as your basis. Now, the first thing that you've been provided is your syllabus. From one method or the other, you've gotten your syllabus. Now, on the syllabus, you're provided a link to the class portal. Now that class portal then provides you information and tutorials and steps and that sort of thing. So that gets you the first few steps of the course. So you've got your stuff, you know kind of how the course is going to work a little bit from your syllabus, grading, that sort of thing, and then your class portal is showing you a lot of other things. For example, the introduction videos, the kind of extra things we pour into it. And this is something that you want to save. Not only, well, actually you want to save your syllabus too and keep a hold of one, but you want to save your class portal, maybe create it as a favorites on your Internet Explorer or Google Chrome, whatever you're using. But you probably want to star this and make sure you have the access to that link pretty often. Now the link will always be on the syllabus, so if you have the syllabus file with you, you can always re-access the class portal. But if you can save your class portal link to favorites, do so, because that's a great place where you're going to get information over and over. Now what happens from there is the class portal is going to provide you access to what we refer to as the online server. Now the online server is our private little system that creates, or basically allows us to store large videos. And these large videos or lecture material are stored on the server privately, simply because of the fact that they're just large and we don't have a lot of access, and YouTube doesn't provide a very good way of doing this. So we have our own private server where we store lecture material. Now the lecture material will be found in the contents folder, on the online server. So for example, a person will use the class portal to gain access to the online server, and so we're going to do this little operation here. It's going to allow you to gain access to the online server from your student computer. And once you're there on the online server, you can see the contents folder. So for example, let me just pull up the online server for you. This is kind of what you'll see on the online server. You'll see a folder and a homework folder, and typically all of your lecture material is in the contents folder. So for example, I'll just double click on my contents here, and it's going to take me to a list of different courses that we provide, and depending on which class you happen to be in, you'll just double click it. And it's going to take, well, it's not that one, for example, let's do this one. It's going to take you to individual lessons associated with that particular class. Now you will notice that they are actually numbered, so that's great. You're able to see numbers of which one you go to. And we try to make it pretty simple, honestly. The contents folder is where the lecture material is. Homework folder is actually where we will provide the graded version of your work, and also in some classes actually turn it in there. So the way you turn it in kind of varies, but as far as getting your graded homework, this is typically where you'll go to get that. And you'll notice that it too is listed by classes that you go into. So we try to make it as pretty linear as we can. But let's just stay on the contents folder for the moment and save your lecture material. So as you just saw, the lecture materials are provided in the contents. And you will use that material to study, learn, whatever, and then you're going to turn it back into me in some format as established per the class. So this lecture material gets to your student computer this way, through this process, and we will actually also provide some method for your homework to be submitted, and it may vary between classes, but this is kind of how it works. Now the class portal will also provide any and all schedules, which will vary between classes. So you can use the class portal to go find your schedule. We will also use the class portal for troubleshooting, and I'm going to run out of space here, so I'm going to kind of shift this up a little bit. Troubleshooting. The class portal will provide some options and ways to access some troubleshooting guides. We might do this through another little portal called the Nexus, where we provide some stuff. We'll just kind of see how that plays out. But your class portal is the place that you go to find answers to typical questions that students may have. We will also sometimes use the class portal to have a backup process to get your lecture material. If we can't get through the online server, we'll use the class portal to provide some backup tools and maybe additional things that you can find along the way. So anyway, this is essentially kind of how your class will flow in terms of materials and work and that sort of thing. So you'll notice that your student computer, the key thing is to get started with your syllabus, go to the class portal, and from there learn all about the class, find your schedules, find how to access the online server, and we'll go from there. Now, as far as the lecture materials are provided, you will actually do with the lecture material, assignments and that sort of thing will be provided there. The lecture materials will be used to do the assignments, and then you will be instructed on how to submit work based on your particular class. So the student work will actually be turned in some way, form, or fashion, and then we will grade it and return it to you, typically through the online server. But it may vary. The key thing is you at least get through this process to get to the online server and get your lecture materials through your class portal. So there you go. There's a basic outline of kind of how the class flows, and always check out your class portal as your go-to place first for additional questions and information that may pop up, especially on the troubleshooting side. All right, so there you go. We'll see you.